no one, the person doesn't need to even have Moodle. Okay, you can share the content to anyone, to any website later. Okay, H5P is a bit more restricted in this, but Xerte is more open in terms of sharing the content. And it engages the student. As we know, you can put in different things like questions or like games, okay, and it can be published in many ways. Like mentioned earlier, you can put it on a website, on your blog, in Moodle. All right, so just to get an overall picture of what we understand about Xerte, maybe we can attempt this question. Which of the following is true about Xerte? So either scan the QR code or use the bit.ly FOSE MCQ. And there are four options. One or more may be right. Okay. You can add in games, you can add in 360 videos, there's auto captioning, you can see the students' answers to questions. Let's see. I might have mentioned some of the answers earlier. Okay, thank you for polling in. So two of you selected you can add in games, two of you add, say you can, there is auto captioning. Okay, Xerte doesn't allow us to add in 360, that's correct. And you can't see the students' answers to questions, that's correct. So as to whether A or C or both are correct, only A is correct. Okay, A, you can add in games on Xerte, but there is no auto captioning. There is manual captioning. You can type in the transcript yourself, but unlike Echo 360, auto captioning, sorry, 360 gives you auto captioning because it will listen to your audio and type in their own words, maybe sometimes quite erroneous or lots of mistakes, but they give you a preliminary transcript to work with, but Xerte doesn't.
Cedric,
yes.
If you upload an Echo 360 into a Xerte package, can you kind of use a transcript from the Echo 360 to kind of come up in the way you were showing earlier? Or would you just have to copy and paste it kind of manually, so generate the auto transcript in Echo 360 and then copy each of the sections?
So for auto captioning, we can't really upload 360 videos onto Xerte. I've tried that before.
Not 360 as in 360 Echo 360.
Oh, okay. You want to add Echo 360 videos onto Xerte. Is that okay? Yeah, that's a brilliant way to get around things. Definitely. Okay. So but the way we put videos on Xerte, there are two methods that I'm familiar with. One is actual upload, which we are going to do later. And the other one is linked to a YouTube video. And from what I understand, only YouTube videos can be linked. I'm not too sure about 360 videos at this moment.
Okay, so if you uploaded it, it wouldn't have the auto captions from Echo 360.
Yes. So if you, but the other way of getting around this, indeed, good question, is to put it on YouTube, let it have auto captioning on YouTube, and then link your Xerte to YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you.
Good. So we're going to create a media lesson object. Okay. And the first one is to show you where to sign in. The second one is to create the content, and finally to embed it onto Moodle. We're going to do these three steps together. The first one is to sign in. And when I first came in, I did not know that I could have access to Xerte. And so let's do this. Nottingham.ac.uk/toolkits. Okay, if you go to your web browser, you can type this in, and then use your UNM username and password that you use for your email address. Apparently it lets you in, and I didn't realize it until recently. So let's sign in. Because all UNM or Nottingham staff have an account on Xerte, okay, that means when you sign in here, you will automatically be in a Xerte account. All right, who needs more time here?
Sorry, I have a question. What should we put on the password?
What should you put on the? Have you signed in? Sorry. Yeah, you signed in already.
Is your normal login password?
Yes, your email password. Okay, Rosmira?
Also, I have to sign it first, right?
Yes, that's right. Use your usual UNM username without at nottingham.edu.my. Leave that out, okay? Just use your username and the password that you usually use.
But I didn't see the sign in button, sign up button, or whatever.
Oh, it's on the top right. Do you see the top right? Username and password.
Yeah, but there is login. Can I just put in my username?
Yes, use your username and password and then click login. How is it?
No, I cannot go through. I think you can just carry on. I will watch the recording later.
Sure. So one thing, if you can't go in at this moment, it might be that you have signed into on a different laptop. Alternatively, your password may be incorrect. Make sure you don't put in the at nottingham.edu.my. So don't put your entire email, just put in your username. Not your name per se, not Cedric.tan, it's the UNM's ID. Okay, great. All of you should see this. Okay, just a brief overview of what we are seeing. Yes, Rosemira.
It's working now. Yeah.
Oh,
you're
fantastic. Well done. Okay, great. So what we see here, okay, is the workspace on the left. Okay, workspace, you can contain multiple projects. So one project, okay, is made up of multiple objects, and one object is made up of multiple pages. So that's a hierarchy. One project, multiple objects, one object, multiple pages. An object may be an interactive video on the first page, and on the second page might be a game. Okay, so those are two different pages, game and your interactive video. Then it formulates the same object. Maybe this object is called field trip, and then this object is under your project. Maybe the project name is your module name. Okay, so I hope it makes sense. Your project may be your module name. Okay, under your project you have multiple objects. Maybe one is a field trip, one is a museum trip. Okay, and under each of the different objects you have multiple pages. Let's click on this, create. We'll use a project template. Okay, so sorry, in the middle is the project details, how many meg, okay, when it's created. On the right is the templates. Okay, we're going to create a Xerte online toolkit template. So let's click on create, okay? And then this will pop up and I'll like you to enter a name for the project. You may use the same name, okay, or any other name, okay, and click on create. So you're creating your first object, okay? No, sorry, you're creating your first project. You're creating your first project, and your interactive video is your project name, okay? Who needs more time? Otherwise, I will move on. At this stage, you might see a pop-up. Why I say might? Because if you enable ad blocker or you stop pop-ups, then this will not appear. This pop-up is called the Xerte Online Toolkits Editor. This is where you do your editing of your project. So if you don't see this, okay, disable the ad blocker or make sure that you don't block the pop-ups, okay? Any questions here? Okay, great. So the project tree is on the left. Okay, that's where the this is your project. Okay, and then you will see multiple objects as you create them under this tree. In the middle is your project wizard where you enter some details such as your object title. Okay, what language it might be, what's the default text size, etc. And then on the right is like some adjustments to the background, maybe some font size changes, some glossaries, okay? So these are optional properties. I don't usually use them, okay? So these are the three parts of the online toolkits. We usually use the middle bit. Not surprisingly, that's the largest area. Okay, so what we are going to do is create our first object in this project. So let's click on the plus button. There are some students or participants of the past session that experience troubles with this because if you click on the plus button, some of them do not see this. Okay, you should see a pop-up or a scroll down, and I want you to select media and media lesson and click on before. So media lesson, and click on before. Okay, before means before an object or after an object, but this is your first object, so it doesn't matter. Okay, what does before after at the end means is the position of your object, in other words. If you don't see this, okay, how the previous participants rectified it is to restart the computer. But I advise you against this at this moment. Okay, maybe just listen for now. If you don't see this, when you click the plus button, you might need to restart your computer. All right, good. So once that's created, you're creating your first object. Okay, your object will be a media lesson object. Okay, and this object can have multiple pages. They have given you a first page. Okay, the first page, I would like you to label your page. Give your page a title. Okay, I placed it as interactive video. And for the panel layout, which is your page layout, I would like you to select grid. So imagine a page, okay? When it says tile horizontally, that means you have two panels that are next to one another, okay? Horizontal, horizontal. If it's tile vertically, your two panels will be one on top of the other on the same page. Let's select grid. That will give you panels that are square-like, okay? Any questions here so far? Okay, sounds good. So we're going to go to our first panel. Okay, the interactive video was your first page. Okay, in the page you will see two panels. So I would like you to select the first panel. Okay, make sure you select it. And this panel, give it a title, or let's do the title later. Okay, let's select the upload button to upload our video, the video that you have downloaded. Okay, I'll bring you through the steps in a bit. Okay, but this is where we put our video at one corner or one panel. Let's select this, and out pops up the media browser. Okay, double click on this floppy disk sign. The floppy disk sign allows you to select the sample video that you have downloaded. Okay, I don't know why they still use the floppy disk. It's like non-existent at this moment, and probably the newer generation do not understand what this means. But let's click on this, okay, and then select your video. Find your video that you have downloaded. Okay, you should know where you have downloaded it and select it. Double click it if necessary. Okay, and upload it, please. So it might take some time. Okay, we try to reduce the size of the video as much as possible. But once done, you should see your video here. Again, I say it might take some time. So I'll pause here for a few seconds. Any questions here so far?
I've got a question, Cedric. I'm just wondering where is this file I'm uploading being stored? Is this sort of space that University of Nottingham is looking after?
Oh no, it's the video that we have downloaded.
No, when we upload it, they must have some storage space somewhere. Is this all University of Nottingham is facilitating this for anyone using Xerte?
Yes, exactly.
This kind of back-end infrastructure.
Yeah. So indeed, it's all over at the UK side, because I don't think UNM teaches this tool or make it. Yeah.
No,
so
the servers were filling up.
Okay, great. So has your video been uploaded?
Mine's still uploading at the moment.
Okay.
I'm about 80%.
Okay, good. So it's good if you are able to see this window, you might change your panel title to something more recognizable. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll explain some of the terminologies here as well. You might see this play and publish button over in the top right. Play is for you to test things out, to see how it looks like. So later, once we have uploaded this video, etc., you might want to look at it. We'll look at it in a bit. Publish is when you are ready to share with others. Okay, so that's the difference. So once your video has been uploaded, this is something to note as well. You need to double click on that video to select it. Okay, sometimes you just click on it, think once it doesn't work. You may need to double click on that video to select that video. Okay, who needs more time for uploading the video? Okay.
I double click on the video and it missing.
Sorry?
It give me to it missing. So it direct me to the previous and before I upload the video.
That's good. That means, do you see the file name here? Do you see the file name?
No, there's no pop-up window like that.
Oh, there's no pop-up window like that.
And
Okay.
then the windows that have the video is also missing.
like the one on the right now is missing.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can repeat the step here. Okay, click on, do you see this? Do you see this?
Okay.
Click on uh,
Okay.
upload. Okay, uh, maybe you don't need to upload a new video, but when this pops up, do you see the video?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see it
select
now.
that.
Select this one. Should I double click it on or just one click?
If you singly click, what happens?
Nothing happens. It's just blue.
Okay. How about double clicking?
If I double click it, the pop-up window disappear.
Okay. Maybe it has already selected that video. Let's see if we move on what happens.
Okay.
Maybe you need to find this window behind something. Sometimes it may be hidden behind another window. Otherwise, no worries. Okay, we can get this window up in a bit. Um, I'll show you how. Okay. So if you haven't changed the panel title, no worries. Okay, we'll go back to it later. And then if you don't see this, okay, no worries. I'll show you how to get this in a bit. But now for those who have successfully changed their panel title, press play to see how it looks like. And for Rosemira, if you want to see this window on the left again, on the right again, I suggest clicking on this item,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and then press play. Okay, great. Rosemira, are you okay? Do you see this?
It takes some time. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
takes some.
Yeah. It's coming ready. Right.
Great. So there are two panels indeed. The one on that you have worked on, it has the video right now. Okay, and the one on the right, we're going to put in questions now. Okay, so the one on the right is where our questions will be. Good, well done. You may close this, okay, close this learning object title if you wish. Or you can minimize it by clicking on the top left, top right. Okay, we're going to add questions. Now, our intuition will tell us to click on the other panel title. Do we see the enter panel title here? Okay, make sure we select this first, okay, and then we're going to change this panel title to something more intuitive, maybe questions, and then we're going to insert a new multiple choice question. I say again, select the select the enter panel title, the second panel, change your panel title to questions, and then select new multiple choice question. Realize that you can add in additional panels. You can have maybe 4 or 5 panels, okay, or at the side, but I feel a bit more distracting. I would rather have just a video and a place where you can ask questions. Okay, so once you select that, this window will pop up, and this is where we construct our first question. So the title may be MCQ1 because it's my first question. And then put in your question. I'll leave it to your imagination, okay, what your question would be. And then we're going to note this. This is sync point. Sync point means where your question will pop up, when your question will pop up. More importantly, if you put 10, it means at 10 seconds within the video, your question will pop up. Okay, and if you select pause media, which is by default, then your video will pause. If you unselect it, then the video will just continue playing. Okay, same point again. This is an important note. Is when your question will pop up, and 10 is 10 seconds. So you might want to change it to 60 seconds, but I think it's best to put it at 10 seconds because we can see how it works later. Right? And then let's put
Cedric,
in.
can I ask
Yes.
a question?
Sure. Go.
If what would be like the syntax for something more than 1 minute? Do you still write it in seconds, like 90 seconds or 120 seconds?
Yes. So it will be 90 seconds.
Okay.
Etc. Yeah. Okay. Great. So then welcome. Then we're going to put our possible answers. Okay. Let's click on new answer. And we're going to put 2 answers. Okay, so the first one, when we click on new answer, might be yes as the answer. And is it correct or not? You put false. And let's repeat the cycle again. Click on new answer. And then we're going to put a second answer. No. Label is no. And whether it's correct, true. So we're going to just put in 2 possible answers here. Great. Any questions here? Okay. Sounds good. And then once you are done with that, you notice on the original window, on your original web browser window, you have created all these. You have created your first object, okay, or this object only has 1 page at this moment. Your page has 2 panels, okay, the video and the questions at the side. Your question has 1 question now, okay, with 2 possible answers. And this is how we read it, okay. This is our object. Your object only has 1 page at this moment. Your page has 2 panels. Your question panel has 1 question with 2 possible answers. So once that's done, okay, you would see this is the previous window that we had. Okay, let's press play to see what we have created. Okay, so this is the finished product to be shared. Will be shown.
My questions is below.
Your question is below. Okay. You might have selected the format as a different format, horizontally maybe.
So in the interactive video one, the first part, I've put panel layout grid.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Georgina, I wonder if it just could be the size of the window you've got open for that, because I can make it go underneath if I just make that pop-out window smaller.
Yeah, I thought that was the case, and I've just made it full screen. I don't know if I need to maybe reload it. I don't know. Yeah, even at full screen, it's still just appearing underneath.
Okay. Maybe reload it.
So just go back to the thing and press play again.
Yes.
Okay.
That's interesting. Sometimes it's got to do with the size of the video or the size of the window.
No, and also like my options aren't showing on the actual page like yours are. So my screen just has a video and then has questions, but doesn't have yes no underneath.
Oh, did you type the yes here because there's two places, yes and yes here.
Sorry, show that again.
So on my yeah, so when we add in a new answer, okay, we're going to put yes as the answer here and as the label here.
Okay.
The label is the part for the tree here.
I see. Okay.
The actual answer is the what the participants see. I'm not too sure about your arrangement, why yours appears below. Are you using a web browser? What web browser are you using? Just
Chrome.
Chrome as such. Okay, maybe you can play around with the grid settings later on to see how that might change your layout, which is this one, the panel layout, and change it to tile horizontal. Tile vertically.
Yeah, it's still not showing the answers.
Still not showing the answers.
No, it's. Hold on, I'll show you my screen.
Sure. So I've allowed for share screen. Okay. So there was no. Oh, okay. All right. Can we go back to the Xerte online toolkit editor?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Label no.
Oh yeah, that should say no. But
Okay.
do I have to like press like embed or accept into or something?
No, there's no save button, no nothing like that. That's interesting.
Because I think this was the problem I had before when I tried to use Xerte, is that I've kind of published a page and then nothing happens. It's like it.
Okay, so because I realized that you're using Microsoft Edge might be a little bit buggy. Xerte, I must admit, is a little bit more buggy than the H5P. So sometimes things like this happen. You might want to try Google Chrome because this is Microsoft Edge, is it?
Yes, it's Edge.
Yeah. Let's press play again and see if it works. Otherwise, it might be a situation of having to restart the computer later on. But your work will be saved, so it's fine. Okay, so this is a bug. I reckoned it's not because of any fault on the actions. So maybe you need to try a different browser or restart the computer later.
So Xerte doesn't particularly like Edge, so it works better in Chrome.
Yes, from my experience.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, great. Any other questions? Okay, if not, we'll go to our third step to share this on Moodle. Okay. So you might want to press the button called publish, but that doesn't really share the item. Okay, so you publish the object, but you're not publishing the project. Okay, project again is the item that you need to publish and share. Okay, but you publish the object means that people can see that object if they have the link to the project. All right, so we're going to embed this on Moodle. So let's hear from you. What do we mean by embed? I know this terminology, we use it quite often, but I just wanted to understand what we think. So what does an embed item, how does an embed item appear to users? When they click on an item, it directs them to another page. The item appears on the page or web page. A website, the user can see the link to the item. The user can see the code that places the item on that page or website. Okay, great. Thanks for pulling in. Indeed, the answer is B. Okay, the item immediately appears on the page or website. Okay, that's modal for us. Okay, unlike A, okay, which is often a misunderstanding. Okay, we like to embed objects so that it doesn't bring them to another page, and maybe it brings them to YouTube and they might get distracted. It's better to embed the YouTube video on Moodle. Let's look at how we're going to do this. First, we're going to go back to our workspace or the original, okay, website, web browser, okay, where we have our workspace, and you might see the item interactive video, not the rest. The rest are just for me, okay. So I want us to select the interactive video project. Okay, we're going to publish it, and so this is the button for sharing or publishing. Make sure we select the interactive video project. Okay, and we're going to hit this button and this will pop up. This will pop up on the left, and let's select the second tab, access. We're going to click on public, okay, so that anyone with the link can see it. And we're going to make sure we click on change access. If you don't click on this, okay, then it will not be changed to public. This is like a save button. Any questions?
Sorry, I was just loading in Chrome. What was the first step to share?
Sure. We're going to go to the website and sign in, okay, if you haven't done so. The nottingham.ac.uk/tokens.
I mean, okay, you're back on the main page. Okay.
Yeah, the main page with the nottingham.ac.uk/tokens. Do you see this workspace?
Yeah. So I've clicked the share now. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And then this will pop up, and I would like to click on the second tab, access, and click on public. And finally, make sure we click on change access. Of course, there are other options, password protected or private. Okay, you can give other people the link with a password if you wish to. Okay, make sure we click on the change access. That's like a save button. All right, once this done, okay, we're going to click back on the project tab and hit the button publish. If you wish, all PowerPoint slides are available on the Moodle page anyway, so you can go through the exercise yourself again. All right, great. This will bring us back to the original web browser page, okay? And you can see in the middle now, there's an embed code. This is what we're going to copy. I'd like you to select the entire code, okay? Control A to select all or highlight the entire thing, and press right click to copy, or Control C to copy. On Mac, then use Command C.
Sorry, where is that?
This is on the original web browser page.
Yeah, mine is.
Oh, you don't have the embed code?
No.
Okay. Have you selected interactive video?
Yeah.
So what do you see on the project details?
It's just come up when I re-clicked it.
Okay, good. Sometimes it takes some time.
Yeah.
Okay, highlight the entire thing and then click on right click to copy, the usual way of copying. And we're going to use this embed code. Okay, embed code usually come with a start called iframe, blah, blah, blah. It tells you what's the dimensions of it all. We're going to look a little bit at this. It's just a coding, not too intimidating. I'll explain the terminologies used later. All right, we're going to go to the Moodle page now. And this is where we're going to put the video on. So you may use your own course page. You may use the Technology Enhanced Teacher and Learning page, up to you. But you are familiar with the procedure, click on Edit Settings and click on Add an Activity or Resource. Okay, I'll pause here. Any questions so far? Okay, great. So once that's pop up, okay, we're going to select the page activity, nothing else, just the page activity. One thing to note, okay, means that the student will click on this activity and they will see the H5P content directly. If you want the student to see it on your course page, the video on your course page, that's something different. You might need to select the label button instead, okay? But if you want them to click on the an activity or the page and then pops out the H5P, which I think is better, okay? Then click on the page item and this will pop up, or this will direct you to this page. Let's change the name to interactive video. And under the content, okay, area, select this drop down button. This drop down button gives you additional functions to place in other items, including an embedded code. So where's the embedded code function? That's the bracket here. Okay, I've highlighted the bracket here. Once you click on this bracket, you might see some colorful coding. That's the programming code to put in a embedded item. So once you click on this, you might see some colored code. I would like you to remove that code and paste your code in, the code that you have copied. Okay, remove the original one and paste this in. Paste the one that you have copied. All right. So let me explain a little bit. The iframe will put in your Xerte item with the video and the questions, okay? And you can adjust the width and the height. If you increase the width, okay, to 1,600, that's going to make it double the size. And then you can change this accordingly to 1,200 to double the height. Is there a frame border? No. Okay, the style is position is relative to the size of the window. Okay, so the audience might adjust the size of the window, so the position will change accordingly. okay? Top and left, 0 pixel means it's aligned to the top and aligned to the left with no pixels in between or no gap, okay? That's what this means. But usually I don't adjust this too much. All right, to see your video and to check things are correct, please click on this bracket again. When you click on this bracket again, out pops out your Xerte item. I'll pause here for a couple of seconds. Any questions? All right, and then you can click on Save and Display like the usual. And voila, your page has the interactive video. Any questions or difficulties or need me to repeat something? All right, sounds good. Okay, you have just created your first interactive video and shared it on Moodle. Well done. And there are other items that you can do on media, on Xerte, and which is the sing video. Okay, and so you just need to select the object media, and then go to sing video. Okay, and to insert this, and the same principles arise. Okay, you might need to add in titles at sync points. And indeed, okay, this is just how it might look like. You select the media, the object called sync video, okay, and then enter, add in your video on the page, okay, and then create new sync points. At the bottom, you might see sync points, new sync points, and this will pop up the text at relevant points during the video itself. We're not going to do this now. Okay, now we are able to create our first interactive video, but let's assess our own learning through this quiz, and it would be great to hear your feedback on how the session went, and any questions that you might have, feel free to type it in on this quiz itself. We will discuss our answers to the questions during our next session in 2 weeks' time. Again, if you are not able to make it, no worries, you can always watch the video recording.